Hello Internet, and welcome back to my Sky Island playthrough of Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. Now in the last episode we spent the entirety of that video here on our Sky Island. First we worked on crafting and getting our soldering iron up and running, which was something we had started in a previous episode, and we made that specifically to craft the box recharging item, and that's like a really great starter appliance when you're first getting your base up and running. So we were going to work on that, but unfortunately our solar panel just doesn't work at night. Who would have guessed that, right? So we didn't have the power necessary to make that item, so we just turned our attention to craft raising our fabrication. Then we started reading a book, and that was really the entirety of the episode. And when we ended up sleeping at the end of that video, we actually slept through our alarm, so it's actually almost 3 p.m. already, so we're not going to have a lot of expedition time today, and I think with that we're going to come back to the game. So everyone, welcome back. Hello, hopefully you're having a nice day today. So yeah, it's 3 p.m. right now, which is really unfortunate because we planned to get up at like 10 a.m. so we could go on expeditions throughout the day. So at this point I have to kind of decide, like, do we stay here and burn through what little daylight we have left, or do we go on an expedition right away? And I actually think going on the expedition is the smarter choice, just like objectively, especially after, like, even for entertainment purposes, the last couple episodes have been a lot of base stuff, which a lot of people don't enjoy very much. So let's put on our leather gloves that we took off for crafting. There was something I wanted, oh yes, so I wanted to talk a little bit about a spear strap. So we have been using the dory recently, which is a pretty great spear that we picked up. I believe we bought this from Rubik. That's a nice little spear. It doesn't do very well against armored creatures, but that's really to be expected. Someone's honking rhythmically outside of my house, okay? And the real problem with this is that it requires a spear strap in order for us to drop it out of our hands. It doesn't fit in any backpack that we have or anything like that. So if we wanted to pick something large up and bring it back to base, we would have to get rid of the dory. And obviously that's pretty terrible because this is the most like well-manufactured weapon we've found up until this point. Now we could take our baseball bat because we know that fits in the hiking backpack, or we could craft a spear strap for the dory, that way we could wear it and pick something else up in our hands. And between episodes there, that led me to the HHG, of course, where I went to look up what a spear strap is, because we looked in a previous episode and we weren't able to craft it. So I had a look at the recipe here, and it says it's a tailoring 3 recipe, which I think is absolutely silly. If you remember, we made the 2-point sling in the last episode, or not last episode, many episodes ago, we made a 2-point sling for a rifle. This required, I believe, just a single string and fabrication 1, and it took about 1 minute. However, to make this spear strap, we require tailoring 3 to even get the recipe, which we don't have. Or I guess we could have melee 1 apparently, which is, you know, I don't know, I would have thought we'd have that by now, but I guess not. But it requires a proficiency, it requires 45 minutes, it requires a sewing tool, fabric cutting tool, and an awl, which I'm pretty sure we don't have an awl. Then it requires leather patches of some kind, some sort of leather sheet in order to be made, and the rest are just like string requirements and various cordage. But the leather requirement to me is very, very strange, and the material, you know, I mentioned this on Discord because I thought it was really odd, and they pointed out that the material is leather, so they can't just add cotton variants to this apparently. But this is a completely ludicrous thing in my opinion. You're making like a well-manufactured, tailored like spear strap, which is not a requirement. It doesn't have to be fancy or particularly nice or anything like that. So I do really miss the days where you could just make a spear strap out of several strings. I don't really understand why I need an awl and a leather to make this, so we're probably never going to make this spear strap, which means for the entire duration of the time that we're using the dory as a weapon, we are not going to be able to bring back any large items using our hands. And that to me is pretty much a deal breaker for the Sky Island series. I don't think I can do expeditions with this spear. Anytime we go down expecting to bring back a large item, we have to go without the spear, and I just find that very frustrating. I was tempted to make a very quick version of just like create my own recipe in a mod and add it to the game so I could very quickly and easily craft this, but honestly that seems like such a cheating thing that people would be annoyed by that I'm not going to do that. If this were me playing casually, I would just debug the strap and be like, yeah, it's mine now, you know, what are you gonna do? But because we're on the internet, people will have a bit of an issue with that. So, okay, so let's focus. Let's drop our crap. Everything up here is an unsorted zone, so we can just drop the stuff here and it will eventually get sorted downstairs. We don't need that book anymore. And yeah, we'll sort that stuff later. So, what are we going to do on this expedition? Well, it's almost 3 p.m. We talked about doing an expedition specifically for carcasses. We could do that. That would just require us, basically, we would take our 22 rifle probably, because that's one of the least valuable things that we have. And we could just go down with a 22 rifle, shoot whatever we find, birds or whatever, if we can even get close enough to do that. But the problem with Sky Island is that we don't know where we're going to end up. So for all we know, we're going to end up in a super valuable place that we're going to really want to loot, and we're going to want to take the dory because it's our best weapon, and we, would want that reach attack and all that stuff. So I'm very confused about how I should be progressing without that spear strap. And I'll tell you right now, we're not raising tailoring to 3 just for a spear strap. What is our current tailoring skill? Tailoring is 0 at 0%. Yeah, tailoring is just not a skill that is required this early in the game, or even ever. Some people just play the entire game without ever tailoring anything. I just can't see myself raising it to tailoring 3, but it would be something to work towards. I guess we were a little aimless in the last episode, not knowing what to craft raise. I guess we could work on tailoring tonight when we get back to base. But anyway, that's not a problem for right now. Let's prepare for our expedition. So first of all, let's go upstairs, grab our 22 rifle and our 22 ammunition. So let's hit R to clear the filter, and we'll look for 22. I really thought the Ruger had 22 in its name, but apparently not. So let's search for the Ruger 1022 rifle. So let's pick all of that up. So we have 50 rounds plus whatever is in the rifle itself, which is 4 rounds. Let's load the LR, right, is the lower value ammunition, right? Long rifle ammunition, 40 grain, unjacketed bullet. 22 LR, extremely weak, short range, negligible recoil, most useful for targeting practice and hunting small animals. Well, luckily, that's exactly what we want to do in this expedition. I think we're going to leave the dory behind. It pains me to say that, because if we land somewhere that's like a super good loot location, and we're not going to have the reach weapon, that's going to be pretty painful. But I think we're gonna do that, I guess. So we'll leave the dory behind and we'll take our nail bat instead. So let's search again for our nail bat. Or no, it just searched for bat. It's a barbed wire bat. That's right. Okay, so let's wield the barbed wire bat, because again, we know that this can fit inside of our backpack. So worst case scenario, if we find like a solar panel that's easy pickings and we want to bring it back, we can just stuff this in our backpack and bring the solar panel. And then let's check our inventory for anything else that might be problematic. We do also have the handgun, so like we really don't even need a melee weapon per se. We could go down and just clear what little we find with a handgun. But of course, being Sky Island, we don't know where we're going to be, so it could be potentially a problem. We did favorite that MP3 player. Is there anything else I would want to take? If we're going down specifically for animals, then if we get more than we need, we could potentially butcher some of them. So let's have a look at butchery tools as well. What knife do we have on our person? A pocket knife, which has the butchering quality of 11. We have a carving knife. Chef knives probably have a good butchering quality, only a 10, and the carving knife has a 22. I mean, a chef knife, I guess you don't really use for butchering. It's more, you would use like a different knife for that. Carving knife kind of makes sense, I guess, because it's a carving knife. If we look here, for slicing meat either in flat sheets or around the bone, makes an excellent melee weapon and is excellent for butchery, or decent melee weapon, excellent for butchery. So we will take a carving knife instead of our pocket knife. We'll keep the pocket knife favorited, I suppose. Carving knife is treated as a weapon rather than a tool. Anything else? Do we need to drop any of our gear? Keep our leggings and Kevlar vest, of course. Army helmet, I'm still a little sketchy on like the encumbrance and stuff, but it is what it is. It's what we've got. And the barbed wire bat is becoming damaged, which is requires a what's that toolkit called to repair? Says using integrated welder miscellaneous repair kit is the one we're looking for. Now we do have a welder with some welding tanks, but I'm not sure I would necessarily use the welding like the valuable welding tanks on something like this. That's pretty replaceable. But let's have a look at that repair kit. I'm sure we can probably craft one. I just don't know how. X-Acto knives are less common than they used to be. We do have a wood saw downstairs, but I would hate to give it, well, this will have wood sawing quality then, so it's not giving it up, it's just putting it in this item basically. And then a patch is no big deal. I don't think we have an X-Acto knife would be the only thing. And then this would require duct tape as ammunition, which again we talked about previously, but that's probably how we would repair this in the future. So we've eaten, we've slept, I think we were ready. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go on an expedition here. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I feel that way every time, so let's just go and get over it. Man, I swear there was something where I was like, yeah, we should take this on every expedition, and now I don't remember what it was. Whatever, quick expedition. We're gonna go hunt some animals. Do we need anything else for butchery? Like, I'm sorry, internet, I'm forgetting everything. Field and missions generated. Oh, that's right, we should probably try to hit a mission while we're down here. Why does this road look very different? What is this? Since when do we have these? It's a guardrail. Since when do we have guardrails? I've never seen this before. Okay. That's really interesting. Maybe it's only a specific... Oh, are we at like a track or something? Yeah, what is this? Oh, I got a text. Hooray. Yeah, so this is a speedway, so this is like a racetrack. Let's take a step here and get our binoculars working for us. Ooh, why didn't my vision expand? Or maybe it did? Okay, so we're close to somewhere oh, this is the fungals. I was like, why is it so small? But it's clearly the fungal area. Crap. Okay, so this is the exit point. There will be fungus over there, but we learned in the last episode that they're not just outright attacking you unless, you know, you go over and poke them or whatever. Let's see where the horde is. The horde is the other direction, which we really don't want to go either. Oh, okay. Well, kill the warp draining evolved zombies. So presumably they're higher tier zombies. Now, on the plus side, this racetrack probably means we're going to find a vehicle. So let's try to find a vehicle. I'm not sure why my vision didn't get bigger. Did I drop my binoculars? No, I didn't. So I would have oh, now, okay, so now it popped. What are these auto notes? There's a crater here. There's a small patch of sand here. There's burned ground here. Okay, let's go look for a vehicle, because having a vehicle would speed up our progress quite a lot. Is there a way to... No, we can't see very much of the track at all. It's a huge track. I assume there's like a, what do they call it? Like a pit or something where there might be a vehicle or a garage nearby, something like that. You fully materialize, you're not invisible anymore. I have no idea if these are like dangerous places. We do see a zombie. It looks like it's just more grass and stuff over there. What's to our south? Just, oh, okay, maybe garages. Let's head down there. See if we can pick up a vehicle here. We're just gonna leave. There's probably not much loot at a place like this. Maybe there's like bleachers or something where there might be food items. Yeah, bleachers. Nothing. I thought maybe there'd be like a food. Oh, there's a portal there. Yeah, we're definitely leaving at this point. Casings, toxic waste. Someone dumped some toxic waste here. And more burned ground. It's weird that it flags the burned ground as something that is requires the notes. Maybe it's maybe it just flags every like map extra. Maybe that's why that does that. Anyway, there's probably like food over here or beer or something in the bleachers, or maybe there's like a food like, what do you call it when you go to like a fair and they have like a food area? Not a food court. I'm just completely blanking on the word. But anyway, so we're just gonna look for a vehicle and we're gonna get out of here. I don't know, we can even head north if we really want to, because it looks like there's a road up here where we could potentially get some kind of vehicle. And we're probably just going to go to exit. The fact that we're near those fungals again is just something that makes me nervous. And then the portal itself, I didn't see the portal, but it popped up on the map. I don't really know how they work. I just know that they're not good news in general. So we probably want to move away from that very quickly. But I would like to check these garages. Looks like a lot of tires, but I doubt that there's... I mean, I guess there's tools here. I just don't know what it would be. Man, taking like welding tanks anytime you see them, pretty much objectively the right decision. Welding mask again. I know we have one, but we might as well take one. Oh, that's something I was going to keep in my inventory, was the acetylene torch, so that we could cut safes if we came across them. But That's a pretty valuable thing. We don't have a lot of items like that. Maybe that's not worth risking on an expedition. Not really sure. Thread cutting set. Didn't we need this for crafting? Maybe I'm misremembering. Probably not doing much with vehicles, but I guess for now we'll take the vehicle parts. I don't know if they should be a priority or not. We'll take some of this stuff. Welding and metallurgy seems like a high level fab or mechanics book, so that's probably a good thing. I do love jerry cans, but we're probably not going to take that. I think sandpaper has a sanding quality, so we ought to take that. Filing quality, my mistake. I think we need the metal file set is one of the tool requirements that we have. Oh, I forgot, before I left I was supposed to make notes of all the tools we had that we should be on the lookout for that we don't have yet. We're definitely going to take the arc welder, and we're definitely taking the welding wire, but we just can't accommodate all of that. So maybe, you know, we have an arc welder. Maybe we don't need an extra 3 liters. You know what? There's other stuff we can drop. I need this welding wire, I think, is like a objectively great thing to have on our person. How much do the welding... oh, these are huge welding tanks. They're 25 pounds each. Yeah, let's drop... well, so let's do math. 18 liters for 1,400 or 3 liters for 350, which is better. So one of those is 4 of these. So 3 liters times 4 would be 12 liters. So why is this one 18 liters if it contains only 4 of those worth of... am I doing math wrong? I don't think I am. So let's drop one of those. So we'll drop one of the welding tanks there. That freed up a huge amount of space. And let's keep checking these garages because that seemed like an amazing little... oh, hello. Oh, you scared the crap out of me. I thought you shot me with a bullet. That's a rock throwing feral. Even if we run, well, I don't know this creature. Last time we saw one, we hit it with a car. I'm gonna look up this creature because depending on what weapon it has, that could potentially be very dangerous. And they can open doors, so it's not like we can very easily escape this situation. We are going to have to fight it. But with the limited terrain available to us, I think it might be prudent here. Like, we're probably going to end up having to face tank it because I don't see any terrain we could use to our advantage. And we're already close enough that it's going to pelt us with rocks this whole time. So I just want to look them up to get an idea of what I'm dealing with, but odds are good we're just going to sprint at it and try to kill it. Because the alternative, because we're halfway in the room, right? So we have 2 options. We either fall back, which is like 6 tiles, or we progress, which is like 4 tiles because it's going to continue moving towards us. So it might be like 2 tiles of advancement. And then we have to fight it point blank because there's no terrain. So does it really matter? We're just going to sprint at it. But I want to look them up anyway. Okay, feral mechanic, wild human-like creature, was probably a mechanic before the cataclysm. Yeah, you can tell by how it has mechanic in the name. You can see it by his worker uniform or by his blood-covered hammer in hand or by his all-hating view. So they have a hammer, 1d6 bash damage, not great, not terrible. No armor, that's great. Low dodge makes, makes sense. 1 or 2 dodge for the average feral makes sense. Feral weapon hammer, so it's not 1d6, that's my mistake. A lot of these feral creatures, so most enemies you look at, this will be their their damage right here. It'll say, 1d6 bash means it deals 1d6 bash damage. However, the ferals with their individual weapons actually have their own special attacks to reflect what damage they do. So this 1d6 is basically its unarmed damage. If we somehow were able to take away this attack, it would deal 1d6. So to find out more information, I came to the GitHub page, I searched for that attack name, and we get feralhumans.json, which is the entry for the creature. It's probably not defined in there. And then we have monster special attacks, feral weapon attacks. That's clearly, where this would be defined. So let's have a look here. It has a cooldown of 1. Of course, it's a melee attack, so it can make it every single turn if that's what it wants to do. Melee plus weapons to hit, so it's 3 minus 1 equals 2. Okay, 9 damage from the hammer. That's not great, but we do have decent bash protection through our Kevlar vest, and I think our leggings are quite good as well. So pretty much, and our head has the army helmet on it, so I don't think the melee is going to take too much damage. And you'll see here, basically, it can make this attack as long as it's not disarmed or having a maimed arm, which is like arm being broken to the point where it can't be used. So I don't think you're super dangerous because you have no armor, but and we can't pop off rounds here. We just don't know what is at the portal. We don't want to draw attention by firing a gun. So you might hit me with a couple rocks. Odds are good the rocks are going to do more damage than the actual melee attack that you give me. I'm going to drop our backpack. Hiking backpack. So this is going to take some time. You're going to hit me with another rock. You didn't hit me with a rock, and you did advance. So we're just going to batter this guy. Tries to grab you. We hit him for 27 with a critical. Tries to hit me, but misses. We hit him for 35 with another critical. And we put him down with a 29 damage, which apparently is less damage than the critical that we just did. Okay. Ferromechanic dies. So that was a nice, easy encounter. Definitely not worth all the time I spent looking them up. So you've got clothing. Really nothing of interest there. No tools, huh? Oh, just a hammer and a smartphone. Yeah. Someone did tell me, I was talking about calorie count in the last episode, and people told me like, hey, if you have a smartphone, it has that fitness tracker. You don't have to use the debug menu to see that stuff, which is good because I do think that some of that should be available to the player directly, but we'll deal with that if we need to deal with that again. So we will take the meat jerky, and we're going to take the micro electric motor. We actually harvested one of these from a fan, I believe, in a previous episode. Now that I look at it, it mentions RC cars and electric hair trimmers. Didn't know you could get them from that, but we'll take that just as a, like, I don't know, if we ever need to repair something and we need one of those. Grab our backpack again and wear that. Apparently dropping the backpack dropped the rifle, which is interesting. I thought we were wearing the rifle, but apparently the rifle fits in our bag. That's weird. Obviously it saves us torso encumbrance by not wearing it, but like, I'm worried we will end up dropping this well, it doesn't matter. Actually, wait a minute. Did we even put a strap? Yeah, we did put a strap on that. All right, so let's just keep looting as though nothing ever happened. Motor oil, no idea what we need this for. Seat belts, I don't really want to deal with that. So let's just have a look here. Another acetylene torch, man. I mean, we should take it in case we find a safe. Then we have everything required to go through a safe, I guess. Take more brazing rods. Man, we're going to have a lot of stuff we're not going to be able to carry. I want more welding rods. I don't know if brazing rods are the same thing. I mean, I assume they're not the same thing, but I don't know in the game if they're interchangeable or not. So I'm not sure what to think of that. More brazing rods. More aluminum brazing rods. Yeah, I think I'm like carrying like 80 pounds of that stuff at this point, so we should be, you know, maybe a little bit more conservative in the things we drop. Let's open this because it will flood with light. Yeah, so I can see the next encounter coming. Yeah, let's just duck around the corner, drop our bag here, and take another step back so we won't see him until he gets very close, and we should be able to step up into melee. He will get one rock throw off, I suppose. Just passing turns here, nothing's happening. So let's peek, I guess. Still nothing. Let's peek again. Still nothing. Did you not see me? Hello. Why aren't you pursuing me? Let's just wait a couple turns. Still nothing. Let's step up. You see me. Do you want to... There you go. Okay. Okay, you're not... There you are. Hello. Yes, you threw a rock at me. Congratulations. Tries to hit me. Hit him for 30. Tries to hit me. Misses. Torso encumbrance throws you off balance. That's not actually necessarily indicative of having huge torso encumbrance. You'll see it's only 9. It just always says it's torso encumbrance. Like, I believe it's if you're above a certain threshold and you make a melee attack and you miss, it has a chance to print that, even if the actual encumbrance itself was not why you missed the attack, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. Hit me in the left arm, you jerk. Tries to hit me, yeah, 29 damage, ferromechanic dies. So that was pretty easy. Switchblade, USB drive. I guess we don't know if there's anything on it. We'll take that. Another flyer. Let's read the flyer, I suppose. Stay in your homes, all residents of New England disaster. Didn't we do this one already? Thank you for your compliance. Makes sense that they would all kind of be the same, I guess. That's fine. What do you have in your tool belt? Just the hammer, huh? Yeah, really nothing I want here, I guess. Safety glasses, kind of nice. We'll take those. Throw on our backpack again. And we'll check in here. I don't know, maybe there's more than one possibly in here, but let's get in here and start looting. Drive belt, small electric motor, jerry can, polycarbonate sheets, welding rods is what we want because I want to drop some of these brazing rods. I'm not sure what the difference is in terms of what we need to craft. I just think the welding rods in general are more valuable, so we'll drop 1,200, let's say, I guess, and we'll call it that, and we'll say we have like 1,200 of each. Seems like a lot to me, although I want more welding wire. Did I not drop them? I'm still very overweight here. Okay, well, let's drop the welding mask. We can drop more welding tanks, but, you know, I kind of would like to take back a ton of acetylene would be nice. And remember, this is supposed to be about picking up carcasses. We just happened to spawn near a place that we, wanted to explore here. Yeah, I'm not sure what to drop otherwise. Let's drop the huge, let's drop the huge welding tank. I know someone's going to tell me I shouldn't be doing that, but that's what we're doing. So you'll just have to accept that. So now we're getting to the point where we're seeing other zombies. Maybe it's like a food court over here. Maybe that's bathrooms. I don't know. Ferals have pretty big vision radiuses, but I would like to check the last garage. I'm disappointed we haven't seen an actual vehicle yet. We are seeing more zombies. We see another feral mechanic. I don't even know if this is worth it. He's gonna follow me. Let's run to stay out of range of the rock. And then drop our bag. Drop the bag, go back to walking. And I guess we'll have to fight you as well. So we did get in range before the rock throwing, so that's nice. Funnel, switchblade we already saw. Cigarettes that are cold for some reason. Yeah, not really anything I care about. Okay, well, this has been kind of a bust. Why don't we just start footing it over to the extraction there? Man, I can't talk today, or any day, or ever. Yeah, let's get out of here. I don't really want to keep exploring when there's a portal here. I would like to find a vehicle, but it's not really worth. Like, I don't know how the portals work. It's not worth encountering a nether creature or something like that we're not equipped to deal with. So we're just gonna hoof it here. I think I said foot it earlier. Is that a term? I always say hoof. You hoof it on foot. So this is the toxic waste drop here. Just not really anything we care about. Alright, well, let's get out of here. We see Amigo and a crack, and I was walking right towards them. Okay, so this is why we use safe mode. So you can see me. So I'm going to immediately sprint north in hopes that you don't kill that before I get away from you. So we're going to get out of vision range. We're going to start walking. We're going to head west to stay away from it. And we're just going to head in this direction. And we're going to turn safe mode on so that we don't bump into Amigo like that again. Because that was extremely dangerous. If it had killed the Krek in that turn, basically, it would have come right at us. And I'm not honestly sure what we would have done. We have a 22 rifle and very little else, so I don't know that we would even be equipped to deal with that. Okay, so we see a horde. Oh, but I can't shoot now because the Migo's nearby. I don't know that we would be able to catch up to the birds anyway. Let's just move in this direction. See, yeah, it's taken off. Yeah, the birds are going to be a problem. Honestly, hunting in the forest is a better bet. There's always the possibility of some mutated animal we weren't expecting at this time of the game, popping up and giving us some trouble. But honestly, our best bet is to come around a tree and see a squirrel and shoot it right before it can run away. Being in the open like this, we're just never going to be able to catch these small birds that are fleeing. And then I'm trying to think what else we would even pursue. I mean, we saw that weasel before was a good one because it's like a small creature that wasn't particularly afraid of us. But I think that anything bigger than that, obviously dogs and cats are the easiest to find because they will actually not run away from you until you get close, you hurt them or whatever. Same with farm animals, but basically all of those creatures are too big for us to stuff in our backpack. So I'm not sure. Yeah, as soon as they spot me, man, they're so much faster than us, they just disappear. Maybe hunting isn't really going to work out for us. I'm just watching the mini map. I know people are probably like, what are you even talking about? But no, I'm watching the dots on the mini map as they jolt away from us as soon as we get close. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. If you're watching this, internet, why don't you leave me a comment? Let me know what I should be hunting. What should I be looking for? What's the easiest place I should be hunting? I suppose, actually, now that I think about it, if any carcass counts, then probably the aquatic animals are the easiest ones to go after, right? Because they can be trapped in lakes and ponds and stuff, and they're kind of forced to the surface, so to speak, if you get close to them and can see them. And they really don't always have somewhere to go. So we could just, kill a fish and grab the fish's carcass. Now that I'm thinking about it, that makes way more sense. Also, aren't there tadpoles in swamps and stuff that really have nowhere to go sometimes, and you can just kill a tadpole and then it's a tadpole corpse, right? It's so tiny it would fit in our back. Maybe that's the play. Maybe we shouldn't specifically hunt animals and then we should just wait until we have a spawn where we're near a swamp, which I guess we just did, but we went the opposite direction. I bet that's the smarter way to tackle this. I bet that's how you do this. You just grab some fish, basically. All right, well, I mean, and the horde is the complete opposite direction. I was going to say we could just do the mission, but they're evolved, and I don't know what that means exactly. Where's extraction? It's literally right here. Man, there's nothing here for us to loot even, or like climb up to get better vision. I should have climbed on the roof of that Speedway building, or whatever this is called. Yeah, Speedway. Man, I don't know what we're going to do in this expedition. Okay, well, anyway, the point is we're at 35 minutes, so I think we're going to call the episode here. We did very little. Good God, we did very little in this episode. Really got to work on playing faster and explaining less. Everyone, for now, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I, of course, will be back in the near future with more content, and I'll see you next time.